My sisters and brothers, time is the one resource every human being is given equally, yet it is also the most wasted. It slips through our fingers silently without warning, and once it's gone, there is no way to reclaim it. Many of us live as though we have an unlimited supply of days, thinking we can delay our goals, our repentance, our dreams, and even our acts of kindness until tomorrow. But tomorrow is not promised to anyone. Every second that passes is like a drop of water falling into the ocean. Once it merges, you can't take it back. This is why valuing the present moment is not just a piece of advice, it's a necessity for living a meaningful life. Think about how much time we waste scrolling endlessly on our phones, engaging in gossip, worrying about things that may never happen, or simply doing nothing while our lives drift by. We convince ourselves that we'll change when the right time comes, but the truth is, there is no perfect time, there is only now. If you are waiting for a sign to start improving your life, this is it. The clock is ticking whether you act or not, and the gap between where you are and where you want to be will only grow if you delay. Imagine someone who spends years saying they'll start exercising, save money, learn a skill, or connect with their faith someday. That a someday never arrives, and before they know it, decades have passed. Regret is a heavy burden, and it often comes when it's too late to reverse the damage. The best way to avoid such regret is to treat every single day as an opportunity, a gift to move closer to your goals and values. Time doesn't wait for you to be ready. It doesn't slow down when you're lazy, nor does it speed up when you're productive. The hours are constant, but what you put into them determines the quality of your life. Wasting a day might seem harmless, but days become weeks, weeks become months, and months become years. Change is not about making huge leaps overnight. It's about taking small, consistent steps every single day. Those steps compound, and over time, they transform your life. Even if you feel like you've wasted years, the moment you decide to start using your time wisely, you can begin to rewrite your future. The past is a place of lessons, not a place to live. Every breath you take is proof that you still have a chance to make things right. Don't underestimate the power of a single day spent with focus, intention, and discipline. It could be the day that shifts the entire direction of your life. And so, if you truly want to change your life before it's too late, start with this truth. The most valuable moment you have is the one you're living right now. Use it before it becomes a memory you can never get back. One of the most powerful steps you can take toward changing your life is to pause and look within. Self-reflection is not about blaming yourself for past mistakes or feeling overwhelmed by what you haven't achieved. It's about being brutally honest with yourself about where you stand today and where you truly want to be. Many people go through life on autopilot, doing what everyone else is doing, following routines without questioning if they lead to the life they actually desire. Without self-awareness, years can pass without real progress, and you may find yourself living a life that doesn't even feel like your own. To reflect on your life means to ask the difficult questions. Am I living according to my values? Am I spending my time in ways that truly matter? Are the people I surround myself with bringing me closer to or further from the person I want to become? These questions can be uncomfortable because they force you to confront truths you might have been avoiding. But until you face them, you can't make meaningful change. Think of it like navigating a journey. You can't reach your destination if you don't know your current location. In the same way, you can't create the future you want without first understanding where you are right now. Reflection shines a light on both your strengths and your weaknesses. It allows you to see what is holding you back, whether it's fear, procrastination, toxic influences, or simply the lack of a clear plan. Once you identify these barriers, you can start working on removing them one by one. Self-reflection is also about acknowledging your blessings and the opportunities you might be overlooking. Sometimes we are so focused on what we don't have that we fail to see the gifts already present in our lives. Recognizing those gifts creates gratitude, and gratitude fuels motivation. When you appreciate what you already have, you develop a stronger drive to protect it and build upon it. But reflection alone isn't enough. It must lead to action. If you realize you're spending hours each day on distractions, commit to cutting them down. If you notice you've neglected your health, set small goals to rebuild it. If you find your relationships are draining rather than uplifting you, take steps to set boundaries or seek healthier connections. The point is not to feel guilt over the past, but to gain clarity for the future. Self-reflection is like looking into a mirror that shows not just your present self, but also the potential of who you can become. And when you're honest enough to face what you see, you're already on the path to transformation. Because the truth is, no one can change your life until you decide to truly know yourself and take responsibility for the direction you're heading. The sooner you do that, the sooner your life will begin to change in ways you never imagined possible. Every change in life begins with identifying the things that are quietly destroying you, and most of the time, those things are habits. Bad habits don't appear overnight. They grow slowly, almost unnoticed, until they become part of your identity. You start thinking, this is just who I am, but in reality, it's not who you are. It's who you've allowed yourself to become through repeated choices. Breaking bad habits isn't just about stopping harmful actions. It's about reclaiming control over your life and replacing what pulls you down with what lifts you up. The problem with bad habits is that they don't always feel bad at the moment. They often bring short-term comfort, pleasure, or distraction, but they rob you of a long-term peace, health, and success. Whether it's wasting hours on mindless entertainment, speaking negatively about others, neglecting responsibilities, or indulging in things you know are wrong, each of these actions chips away at your potential. And the most dangerous part? You may not even notice the damage until years have passed. To truly change your life before it's too late, you need to confront these habits with honesty. Ask yourself, what patterns in my life are keeping me stuck? What do I keep doing, even though I know it's harming me? The answers might be uncomfortable, but they will set you free. Once you identify the habit, the next step is to understand why you do it. Many bad habits are not the problem themselves. They are symptoms of deeper issues like boredom, loneliness, stress, or fear. If you address the root cause, breaking the habit becomes much easier. Replacing a bad habit is far more effective than simply trying to stop it. If you decide to remove something from your life, fill that space with something better. If you're used to wasting time, replace it with learning or exercise. If you gossip, replace it with meaningful conversation. If you procrastinate, replace it with small, quick actions that move you forward. Change works best when you focus on adding value, not just removing harm. You also need to surround yourself with influences that encourage the change you're aiming for. If your environment constantly feeds your bad habits, breaking free will feel like an uphill battle. Choose friends, places, and activities that align with the person you want to be, not the person you're trying to leave behind. Remember, habits are shaped by repetition, and the more consistently you choose the right thing, the easier it becomes. Breaking bad habits is not about being perfect. It's about being intentional. Even if you slip, the key is to get back up and keep moving. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you're reshaping your future. And the truth is, the sooner you break what is breaking you, the sooner you can step into the life you were meant to live. Discipline is the bridge between your intentions and your reality. You can have the most beautiful dreams, the deepest desires, and the clearest goals, but without discipline, they will remain nothing more than thoughts in your mind. Discipline is what turns I wish you into I did. It's not about being harsh on yourself or living without joy. It's about making conscious, consistent choices that move you closer to the life you want, even when you don't feel like it. The truth is, feelings are unreliable. Some days you will feel motivated, other days you won't. If you only take action when you feel like it, you'll achieve very little. Discipline means showing up regardless of your mood. It's waking up early when you'd rather stay in bed, choosing a healthy meal when the junk food is tempting, or working on your goals when distractions are calling your name. But these small choices, repeated over time, shape your life far more than bursts of motivation ever could. One of the most powerful aspects of discipline is that it builds momentum. At first, it's difficult to break away from comfort and push yourself into action. But once you start, the results begin to fuel you. You start to see progress, and that progress inspires you to keep going. The things that once felt impossible start to feel natural. The same way bad habits grow stronger the more you feed them, good habits grow stronger the more you practice them. Discipline also protects you from the trap of procrastination. We often tell ourselves we'll start it tomorrow, but discipline ignores tomorrow and focuses on now. It understands that delaying action often leads to never taking it at all. The disciplined person does not wait for the perfect time because they know the perfect time is created, not found. It's also important to understand that discipline is not just about big sacrifices. It's about small daily victories. Spending 15 minutes reading instead of scrolling through your phone, setting aside time for prayer or reflection, keeping your promises to yourself. These may seem like minor actions, but they are the building blocks of transformation. The disciplined person understands that every day is a chance to either strengthen or weaken the life they are building. Surrounding yourself with structure makes discipline easier. Setting routines, removing unnecessary temptations, and keeping your environment aligned with your goals all work together to make the right choice, the easier choice. Discipline is less about forcing yourself every single time and more about designing a life where your good choices become automatic. In the end, discipline is what separates those who merely hope from those who actually change. It's the quiet force that works behind the scenes, turning your intentions into achievements. And if you truly want to change your life before it's too late, discipline will be the key that unlocks every door you've been waiting to walk through. Some are small and easily forgotten, while others weigh heavily on our hearts for years. The difference between a life that grows and a life that remains stuck often comes down to how we respond to those mistakes. Many people allow their past failures to define them, trapping themselves in cycles of guilt and regret. But mistakes are not meant to be chains, they are meant to be lessons. If you treat them as teachers, they will guide you toward a better, wiser version of yourself. The truth is, failure is proof that you tried. It means you took a step, even if it didn't go as planned. Without mistakes, you can't truly grow because growth requires risk. Every person who has ever succeeded in any area of life has walked through the valley of failure. What sets them apart is that they refuse to stop walking. They use the lessons from their setbacks as stepping stones to move forward. When you make a mistake, the first step is to own it. Denying it, blaming others, or running from it will only keep you in the same place. Owning it gives you the power to change it. Once you've accepted what happened, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Sometimes a lesson is about patience, sometimes about preparation, and sometimes it's about humility. Whatever it is, embrace it, because that lesson is the very thing that will prevent you from repeating the same error in the future. Learning from mistakes also requires forgiveness, especially forgiving yourself. Too many people are harsh on themselves for things they didn't know at the time. But if you truly didn't know better, and now you do, then holding on to the pain serves no purpose. Self-forgiveness doesn't erase responsibility. It simply releases the unnecessary weight that keeps you from moving forward. You also have to understand that some of life's greatest blessings are disguised as failures. What seems like a door closing may actually be a redirection towards something better. Sometimes the heartbreak, the rejection, the business that didn't work out, or the opportunity that slipped away is simply life's way of protecting you from something you couldn't see at the time. Looking back, you often realize that what you thought was the end was actually the beginning of something greater. Mistakes will continue to happen because you're human, but each one is an opportunity to refine yourself. The goal is not to live a life free of failure, but to live a life where each failure leaves you stronger, wiser, and more determined than before. And if you truly want to change your life before it's too late, you must see every mistake not as the end of your story, but as a chapter that prepares you for the success yet to come. Life without purpose is like a ship without a compass, moving but without a clear direction. You can work hard, achieve goals, and even gather material success, yet still feel empty if you don't know why you're doing it all. Purpose gives meaning to your days, clarity to your decisions, and strength to keep going even when things get hard. Without it, you can easily get lost in the noise of the world, chasing things that don't truly matter. Finding your purpose begins with understanding what truly matters to you, not what society says you should want, not what others expect from you, but what aligns with your values, beliefs, and vision for life. It's about asking yourself deep questions. What impact do I want to leave behind? What brings me peace and fulfillment? What will still matter years from now? The answers to these questions form the foundation of a meaningful life. A purpose-driven life is powerful because it keeps you grounded. When you have a clearer why, you're less likely to get distracted by temporary pleasures or pulled into paths that lead nowhere. You begin to make decisions with intention, knowing that every choice either takes you closer to or further from the life you're meant to live. Purpose is what keeps you steady when storms come. Even when challenges arise, you can endure them because you know there is something bigger than the pain you're facing. Living with purpose also changes how you use your time. Instead of wasting hours on things that don't align with your values, you start investing your time into actions that create real growth. You become more mindful of your relationships, your words, and your habits. You stop living reactively, simply responding to whatever happens, and start living proactively, creating the life you want. Sometimes finding your purpose isn't about a sudden realization. It's a journey of trying, failing, learning, and adjusting. Along the way, you might discover that your purpose evolves. That's okay. What matters is that you're moving towards something meaningful rather than drifting aimlessly. And often your true purpose isn't just about you, it's about how your life touches others. Helping, inspiring, or guiding people, even in small ways, can give your life a depth that nothing else can. Purpose also brings peace at the end of each day, because you know you've spent your time on things that matter. You're not just existing, you're living with direction, and every day feels like a step towards something valuable. Without purpose, life becomes a series of empty moments. With it, every moment counts. If you truly want to change your life before it's too late, find the reason you wake up every morning and let it shape everything you do.